I really need to take my Christmas tree down. What day is it? I don't even know what day it is. February 4th. I got no shame. Okay, here we go. We have matrix unit. Last session of the matrix unit. We have solving systems of equations using matrices. Okay, I've done this a while. I want to follow step by step. I could have pre-recorded the lesson or not pre-recorded, but pre-worked out the lesson. But I kind of want to go through it. It's really step by step. I want to go through step by step with you guys so it's realistic. So it doesn't just sound like I'm just walking you through some answers I already know. Okay, I have no idea. Okay, I got the steps in front of me. We're going to walk through it together. Okay, I think it's the best way to do this. So you guys are going to have to use a graphing calculator for this section. There's one on your laptops. Remember, you type in TILEM, TILEM. It'll pull up a graphing calculator simulator. Okay, and I'll show you all that in a second. Okay, last section, we have review on Monday coming out, Delta Math, and test the 11th. Remember, tests are due 11:50 on the same day. What else? The review is not for a grade. I get some of you saying you want the review for a grade or review for extra credit. Well, I mean, those of you saying you want the review for extra credit usually are the same ones saying or that have homework still missing. Okay, so why don't we do the regular credit and then maybe down the line we'll talk about extra credit. Okay, overall we're doing pretty good though. Pretty happy with it. Progress reports come out next week. If you don't think your parents going to be very proud of your progress report grade, well, I guess you got a week to get it up. Plenty of time. Okay, absolutely plenty of time. Okay, the quizzes look good too. We only had a few kids not take them. Nothing I can do. Lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. That's an old saying. Okay. We good? I think it's it. God, I gotta take that down. It looks so bad, Christmas tree back there. Ugh. Oh well. I think in college I left it up till I think I was I was a junior in college. I left it up till March. That's hilarious. If you ever get to that level, then let me know. Okay, so here's the first thing we want to do. So we're going to be given a system of equations. Remember, system of equations, we want to find the solutions. We want to find where all three lines meet. Okay. How do we do that? Well, we follow step by step. So we're going to check them off as we go here. Let me flip this through. Okay, so check them off as we go. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I think you can. That'll be a bummer if you can't. Okay, first step, you must organize the equations into standard form first with the constant on the right. Okay, what does that mean? Kind of fancy terminology for x's over x's, y's over y's, z's over z's, numbers over numbers. Pretty easy. Your constants, your numbers are always going to be on the right side of the equal sign. Okay, there should never be a variable on the right side of the equal sign. Ever. Okay, so it's first step. Okay, so see this minus 2z? We got to get that over. How do we get the minus 2z over? We got to add it over. Add it to both sides. Okay, so let's rewrite the equation. Remember, x's over x's. So let's do x's first, my y's second, my z's last, nothing against z's. Okay, and my numbers always on the right side of the equal sign. Okay, that's my very first equation. That's that top equation, just rewritten. Okay, now let's go to my second equation. I'll go to blue. There I am there. So just bring it down, 9x plus 3y. What's the issue? We don't have a what? We don't have a z value. So here's the deal. For us, our notes, we're going to use this to represent z. 0z. 0 times anything is nothing. Okay, why are we doing that? Just for a placeholder. Okay, so we don't get too confused. Okay, last but not least, the third line, I'll do it in green. We got an x, y, z in this one, so we don't need a placeholder. Plus 4y minus z equals dose. Okay, so we're done, right? All those in standard form, my x's over x's, y's over y's, z's over z's, numbers over numbers. Numbers are on the right side of my equal sign. Done, first step. Okay, now we got to do an augmented matrix. What is an augmented matrix? Here's what it is. Okay, we're going to pull off the coefficients. Okay, we're going to pull off the coefficients and we're going to make a matrix out of them. How do we do that? Here's how. Okay, and here's why we're going to use placeholders. An augmented matrix is we're actually going to have, imagine there's a matrix brackets around this whole thing. Okay, and each one of these variables and constants are an entry. So this is actually going to be a 3 rows, 1, 2, 3, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, and 4 columns. Okay, so we're going to need to make a 3 by 4 matrix. Okay, no big deal. Here's what we're going to do. I use colors for a reason. We're going to pull off each one of these coefficients and the solution. Something special with the solution, I'll show you. Okay, so we have 3, -4, 2, and here's what we do for the solutions. See this equal sign? This equal sign turns into a dotted line in an augmented matrix. And now you put the constants on the right side of it. So my 7. There we go. Okay. Remember, this is a 3 by 4. Okay, my second line. Once again, just pop off the coefficients. So we have 9. Ooh, wrong color. OCD going crazy. Okay, we have 9303. Everybody seeing why we need a placeholder there so we don't get confused? Yeah, all right. You need that 0 in there. It's a big part. Okay, last but not least, we have the final line. Pop off the coefficients. We have 2, 4, -1, 2. Okay, once we have the augmented matrix, it's so easy from there, guys. Okay, just pay attention to how we do the calculator. And you can rewind, pause, whatever you got to do to this part of the video. But here's where we bring up the calculator. Okay, so here's my calculator, and here's my augmented matrix. Uh-oh. Come back. No, that's not what I want. That's what I want right there. Good. Okay, I'm actually going to flip the screen around because using calculator and the pen does not work right for some reason. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's the steps. It's step by step, remember. Okay, here's your steps for a calculator. So to enter the augmented matrix into the calculator, we hit second matrix. So same thing we did before. Second matrix. You go to edit. You go to rows and columns. Let's just do A. Okay. We put our rows and columns in. My augmented matrix is a 3 by 4. Voila. Okay, we want to type in our augmented matrix. So my 3, -4, 2, 7. 3, enter. -4, enter. 2, enter. 7, enter. Okay, next line, a blue line. 9, enter. 3, enter. 0, enter. I know it's tedious, guys, I know. Okay, you'll get faster at it. Okay, then we got 2. Just don't mess it up, because if you mess it up once, you mess up the whole problem. -1 and dose. Sweet. Okay, we have that entered. What do we do next? We hit second quit to back out of it. Awesome. Okay, let's check it off. Ooh, how's this check mark going to be? Probably not good. I'm using the keypad. Boom. There it is. Oh, that's terrible. Boom. Okay, we got the augmented matrix entered. Okay, we're on step number 4. Then have the calculator obtain the solution by using, okay, remember, we're looking for a solution. Okay, if we have 3 variables, we're going to have 3 solutions. It's going to be an ordered pair. X, Y, Z, X, comma, Y, comma, Z, comma. Or not Z, comma, just Z. Okay, and we'll have a solution. It would be an ordered triple. Not an ordered pair, sorry. 3 is triple. That's what we're looking for. What are the X, Y, and Z values? Were they all across? Okay, here's how we do it. It's a special program called RREF in our calculator. How do we get to it? Well, it tells you right there. We go to second matrix. Remember, we still have that original matrix plugged in, that augmented, that 3 by 4. Okay, we're not going to hit that yet. We're going to go over to math. We're going to scroll all the way down to this RREF, which is this one. We type in our matrix that we just entered. So you go to second matrix again. You stay on the names column. And all you gotta do is click enter. On the A, we called it A. Okay, could you use any of those letters? Yeah, you could have. I could have put this in for Z and it would have worked. Okay, now we hit enter. Once again, I'm not pulling this out of thin air. I'm following directions step by step. This is where you pause the video, rewind, and see how to do that. Boom. Okay, we get something along these lines. Okay. Pretty easy. I mean, the only thing now to do is what the heck does that mean? Okay, now we just got a matrix in return, but what does it mean? Okay, here you go down to solution writing. If you have an identity matrix, here's what an identity matrix is. See these ones on the diagonal? That means it's an identity matrix. That's beautiful. Okay, absolutely beautiful. Could I get more in depth on that? Probably. Okay, if you want to know what RREF stands for, it stands for reduced row echelon form. Okay, if anybody's going to remember that, you probably should not be in this class. Okay, you'll learn that a lot in college if you take math classes. Okay, that'll be your number one friend. Okay, so here we go. So what are my solutions? My solutions are right here. Okay, notice, let me try to compare two things here. Notice how my X is in my first column and I have a 1, or my X is in my first column. And I have a 1 in the top left first column. Okay, that means X is going to equal negative 1.4. Okay, so that's going to be the first solution I'm going to get. So let me write it. Remember, we write it as an ordered triple. Come on, work for me. There we go. We write it as an ordered triple. So what I say it was, it's going to be X, comma, Y, comma, Z. Okay, and my X was what? Negative 1.4? Pretty sure? Yep. Okay, now my Y is in the second column. See that 1 in the second column? That's for my Y's. All my Y's are in the second column. Okay, so my Y is going to equal 5.2. So we do comma, 5.2. And now my Z's, last but not least, notice how the 1 is in the third column. Now I have 16. And we are donezo. Okay. All right, what happens if we do not get an identity matrix? Okay, something special happens. Look here. Okay, if we do not get an identity matrix, we're either going to get infinite solutions or no solutions. Okay, there's two types. Here's the first type, and here's the second type. Okay, if I have infinitely many solutions, what that means is I have all zeros on the bottom row of my new RREF matrix. Okay, if I do not have all zeros on the bottom matrix, like in the bottom one, it's no solution. How is it different? Okay, well, how you know right off the bat is if you have an identity matrix. Remember, the identity matrix is we have to have ones on every diagonal. Okay, look in these two matrices. See how the 1, this 0 in both of these, in order to be a true reduced row echelon form matrix, right, and give us the solutions we want, there needs to be a 1 here and a 1 here. So it would need to look like this, and then you have your solutions in this column. Okay, we do not get that. This 1 is not here. This 1 is a 0 in both these. Okay, how do you tell the difference? I just said it, right? Infinite solutions, you have all zeros on the bottom row. Okay, no solutions, you have all zeros, and then in the solution column, you have a number. Okay. Once again, if you get to one on the homework and it looks like one of these and you get confused, we'll come back to the notes. Okay, rewind or fast forward the video to this point, and this is when I tell you. Okay, if it does not look right, you come back to this point in the video. It's probably one of these two. Remember, third time. All zeros on the bottom, infinitely many solutions. Okay, if we have all zeros and then the last entry, we have a number, it's going to be no solution. There you go. All right. Okay, let's do the last one. Guys, I'm really not going to have many of these on the test. I might have 1 or 2. Okay, I'm not too worried about it. It's good to have for the SAT, ACT. Okay, first step, remember we got to get in standard form. All the x's over x's, y's over y's, z's over z's. Yeah, it looks so, right? We don't need to do any manipulation. Now we're going to need some placeholders, yeah. In the bottom, remember, we're going to need a placeholder. For what variable? Well, I have an x, I have a y, where's my z? I'm going to need a placeholder for a z. Okay, so first things first, let's write our augmented matrix. Our first step's done. It's in standard form. Okay, what kind of matrix is this going to be? It's going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to have 4 columns and we're going to have 3 rows again. All right, here we go. Let's pop off the coefficients. So we have 9. Ooh, should I use different colors again? Yeah. Top row is going to be red. 9, -8, 3, and remember this dotted line. 11. Okay. Middle one is going to be blue. So I have 1, -1. Remember, 1, -1, 2 on my z, and 6 for the solution there on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, last but not least, my green row. Okay, so I have -1. Here's where I need the placeholder. Not yet. My 4 is my y, and I do not have a z, so we're going to put a placeholder in so we don't get confused. We have 16. Okay, now what do we do from this step? If you get confused, scroll up. You'll see the steps. Once we have the augmented matrix, now we got to plug it in. Okay, no big deal. We can do that. Okay, now do you need to go through and delete the old matrix we just did? No, right? I'll show you why. Look at all these other names I can call it, right? So once again, we go over to edit. Instead of editing A, let's edit B. Let's call this new one B. Why not? Okay, it's a 3x4. Here's the tedious part. So we have 9, -8, 3, 11. Next row, we have 1, -1. Uh-oh, there we go. 2, 6. I think the Blues are losing like 3 or 4-0. Not good. It's okay. We were due for a stinker. 4, 0. I can just hit enter again. Okay, and then 16. Okay, double check if we did that correctly. Yep. Right side of my equal sign is fine. 3, 2, 0, -8, -1, 4. Beautiful. 9, 1, -1. Good. Okay, now we hit second quit to get out of there. Now we go to our reduce row echelon form. Say that 10 times fast. Bet you can. Wonder how many kids are going to say, reduce row echelon form, reduce row echelon form. I got 2. I'm not going to try again. Okay, so we go down to math, go to reduce row echelon form. That was the third one, for those of you keeping track. RREF. Now you want to hit your B matrix. Not my original one. We got to know I plugged it into B this time for my new one. Close the parenthesis just because my OCD. And voila. Okay, first things first, we need to check. Is this an identity matrix on the left-hand side? Okay, it is, right? So we have all 1s on the diagonal. We're good to go. If this was all 0s, what type of solution would it be? Infinite. Good job. Gold star. Okay, if this was all 0s, and then you would have a number right here in the last entry, what type of solution would it be? No solution. Good job. Okay, I can't wait till you guys are in class again. Tired of talking to myself. Okay, see how these are in icky decimals? Okay, we want them in fractions. Just go math frac. See if this works. Whoa, there we go. Okay, are they still ugly fractions? Yes, but are fractions better than decimals? Yep. A fraction is exact. Decimals are not. Right? You can have 0.33333 repeating. Okay, that's not exact. Well, if you put the repeating, I guess it is exact. But it's much better as 1/3. Okay, remember, my final answer is going to be ordered triple. So x, comma, y, comma, z, comma. So what's my first one? What's that? Achy 224 over 47. Nice. Look at me go. My memory's good today. 244 over 47 for my y. And 151 over 47. Okay, once again, how do you know which one's which? Which one's my X, which one's my Y, which one's my Z? Remember, this first column, I put all my X's in. That's what the whole point of standard form. I put all my X's in this first column. It has the 1 there. Okay, I could go into detail here, but I'm not because I think it's going to confuse you guys. Just know that. If I have the 1 in the first column, the first one's always going to be my X's. Second one's always going to be my Y's. Third one is always going to be my Z's. Okay, and X solution, Y solution, Z solution, and we're good to go. That's the point where it crosses. Okay, NHL update. Hey, we scored. 3-1. So you're saying we have a chance? Probably not. Okay. All right, I'm done. All right, this is pretty easy. Not bad. Not bad at all. If you have questions, let me know. Remember, review is going to come out on Monday. Test is the 11th, I think Thursday. Okay, it's going to be due at 11:50. You got 3 days to review. I don't know what to tell you. If you have not realized that the review is exactly the same as the test, well, it's about time you realize that. Okay. All right. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe over the weekend. Who do you got in the Super Bowl? Bucks? I'm going Tom Brady. Okay, that's my prediction. Bye-bye.